Hey folks, so this is the very first document that I've asked you to take a look at for this course, and the other document that is connected to our task one expectations, and this is the context for learning. And this document is exactly that. What are the things that we need to think about connected to who our students are for the work that we are going to do when we create a unit, when we create lessons, when we think about what a class is going to look like, or even an activity or a task. We need to consider the context of our students, the funds of knowledge that they come to school with. And so that's what this document is. And this is probably one of the most important documents we'll use this semester. It's going to ask you to talk a little bit about the school that you're teaching at. What are the contexts there? What are the things that you have to know at that level that are going to be important to support your students? And then it's going to ask you about the classroom, because in this particular course, we're going to have you focus on one class. So you might teach a couple of sections of biology or a couple of sections of algebra 2. You're going to pick just one of them to focus on. So think really deeply about what it is that you want to get out of this course and what it is you want to get out of the learning. Are there specific contexts within a particular classroom that you'd like to really dive deeply into? And so you're going to think about anywhere from what are the materials that you use from class through what are certain groups of students and how they learn and what they think about. Will you be using groups, but not just, are you using groups? Why are you using groups for this particular context? What are the community things that you need to think about? Are there students that have IEPs or 504 plans? You don't have to know necessarily all of the details, but you have to know some of the accommodations and think about them and use them when you're doing your planning. What are the access scores you might have to think about? What's the English language proficiency of your students? And what does that mean in terms of your learning? Are there other language demands that you have to consider? Things of that nature. I'm also going to ask you to think about what are the student contexts that you have connected to strengths of specific students groups or the entire class. What are areas of growth? So you can kind of see this document is to really kind of give you the why you're doing what you're doing. And so I want you to think about this one and be very careful with how you write it, because you'll be able to use a lot of this information later on when I ask you, why do you do things this way in a lesson? Or when you created your unit, why did you do it this way? If you are careful with how you word this document, you'll be able to really just do some copying and pasting of the information. Well, I'm doing it because of this group of students or this individual, or this is what I've noticed about the whole class. So I'm excited to see what you come up with and looking forward to giving you some feedback and diving into this course. Thanks so much for the work you're doing.